Peace. So I wanted to take a moment and build briefly about knowledge power, which is the number 15. Give you an overview and a practical example of how to apply it to your everyday life. Knowledge is awareness, is consciousness, and power, like I shared in previous videos, is the truth. So when you think about knowledge power, which is number 15, what it's really saying is knowing or being aware of what the truth is. And, you know, that's fine, but it's like, what do you do with that? You look at the people around you, you look at yourself. There's a lot of truths that we may be aware of, but it's like, okay, now what? What's the next step? What do you do about that? So when you look at knowledge power 1 and 5, it equals equality, and that is really the express purpose of even knowing what the truth is to bring about equality. The same way that 1 and 5 equals 6. And bringing about equality also means to bring about stability, homeostasis, reciprocity, all of those various different synonyms that's associated with equality, including equity. And it's not always easy to do that. Once you are aware of something that is true, that may have been the total antithesis of the narrative that you've been living for your entire life, you may be 30 years old and love seafood, and then you get confronted with the truth that, eating them bottom feeders and all this other stuff is not good for you. You need to leave that shit alone. And leaving it alone oftentimes doesn't happen cold turkey or overnight. It may take a process to start giving some of those things up because they have become habits and routines that has been a narrative that you've been living for years. So it's challenging, and I wanted to share that because I don't want people to get the impression that as soon as you get aware of the truth that you're just supposed to stop it immediately. I mean, that would be great, but here's the thing. Equality is balance, it's homeostasis, it's stability. And even though you may have been living a certain way for a very long time, or may even like doing something for a very long time, if you were to just immediately make a change, that may be just as extreme or imbalanced as the imbalanced routine or habits that you've already been engaged in. So making things abrupt like that may not even be good. It's almost like fasting. You fasted for the first time. I remember I did this years ago. Fasted for the first time, I think it was like 3 days or whatever. I was so damn hungry after the third day, I didn't know that you should eat light foods to kind of ease your way back into, a consistent diet of foods that are better for you. Man, I went and made one of them big ass Scooby Doo sandwiches. You remember Scooby Doo, him and Shaggy, how they used to make them sandwiches that'll be double and tripled and quadruple stacked with all kinds of stuff on it. I went to the grocery store. Me and one of my boys, I was in college at the time, we made one of them big quadruple stacked Scooby-Doo Shaggy sandwiches. Man, I ate that joint so damn fast, and I think I threw it up faster than I ate it because it was so heavy. You know what I mean? And my body wasn't ready to accept that abrupt change. And it's the exact same thing on psychological levels when it comes to relationships. That's why if you've been in a long-standing relationship, you need to take some time to get a sense of stability, get some sure footing before you jump into something else. Because most times, if you've had a poor or a bad relationship with somebody to begin with, and now you're looking for somebody else, you're not even really seeing that next person in their totality. That next person, you're just looking for the qualities that they have that this person wasn't. But you're missing all of the other different qualities that makes them who they are. But you have much more of an ability to make a more neutral or proper assessment of them. If you take some time for yourself, get some sure footing, get some sense of stability first. So knowledge power should bring about equality or bring about equity, balance, homeostasis, reciprocity. But it takes some time. So don't get frustrated about it. Realize that when you are making that transition of once you're being aware of the truth, that you're going to have to make an attitude adjustment. because there may be some things that may piss you off or that you may not want to accept about yourself, about your family members, about the people that are around you. So you're going to have to make an attitude adjustment. You're also going to have to make an aptitude adjustment, because now you may have to unlearn a lot of things in order for you to start learning something new. And that may be challenging. To start learning something, it may be even something equivalent to learning an entirely different language. And that may be challenging in terms of aptitude, because you may not have the natural ability to grasp some of these things. So you may have to work at it. And then lastly, altitude. There's going to be some adjustments in terms of elevating from the condition that we are presently in to a higher order thinking. And that doesn't happen overnight. Like I tell people all the time, the only thing that happens overnight is the night. So be encouraged. Realize that growth and development takes time. And if you're working at it each and every day in each and every way, you will arrive at the place that you've set as your destination. So I will, this was inspiring, it was empowering, it was educational. Gave those of you.
Passengers, please stand well behind the yellow safety line until the train comes to a complete stop.
I'm down here at the
Watch the gap
Niagara
between
Falls
the
Underground
platform
Railroad
and the
Heritage
train
Center.
when boarding or detrain. When traveling with children, please hold
And
paper hands while on the platform.
This is a message over the intercom for all of the travelers that come here to Niagara Falls. But anyway, like I said, this was inspiring, it was empowering, it was educational, and gave those of you a brief overview and a practical example of how knowledge power applies to your everyday life in terms of bringing about equality. That's the process. So be patient with yourself. Be patient with others. Y'all get there. Peace.